rain season is officially hit. That's a good way to wash those. It was fine. It just started. Fuck, that crack took off. My brand new window with my green sticker. It's an oxymoron right there. Does it count if it's in the passenger's wiper path as well? Does it fail? Well, I don't have time to fix it now. Hot out of the oven. Haven't worked for, this will be day 5, getting back to work. What was it, the last day there? That was tight. Oh, she's a brand new transmission. Started to hear some noise and some of the, oh no, the parts ready to be picked up too. Okay. Of course, I ordered some parts for the van. The van's been, it's not acting up, but it's got a little puff of blue on fire up, so I'm like, oh great, it's toast already. So I'm gonna change the PCV, put in some slick some sweet oil saver stuff that's supposed to soften up the seals, so it's whether it's valve seats or the PCV is pressuring up and causing it to push oil in through the valve seat, maybe. So from what I read, that's likely one or the A or B. Not the end of the world for either, but still shitty. It's only got 170k, and I've been on top of the oil changes the whole time we've owned it, so it's kind of gay that it's letting me down already. 2014, so yeah, it's old enough, I guess. We got a lot of fresh rain. So yeah, I took the mechanic for a drive, and if you're really like letting it come right down, 1500 to 1000 RPM coming into come to a stop or go into a corner nice and slow and really bogging it down, you can hear it jig jig. Which one's we looking at? Oh, down there. Oh, right there you go. Oh. 2 teeth. It was slowly kind of grinding. It was resonating through the shifter. And he was like, yeah, we should probably change that, even though I shouldn't go pull a service rig tomorrow, because I didn't want to do it anyways. It would have been easy, but alright. Just like, yeah, not great. Oh, this is almost too new and fresh. Usually when you get a I don't know if it's a reman or if it's brand new. Usually they're already pre-sloppy. So they'd spent the last, I think it was on a Friday or a Thursday that I copped out. So they didn't get to it because they had a bunch of other stuff to do. And I don't think they started on it till Monday. It is now, is it Tuesday afternoon? Yeah, it's Tuesday, 1 p.m. And we're about to embark on a mission here. We got to go grab a coil from Tirecraft, where Trican stores their coils, and take that to the Hammerhead Road, which is pretty much right by Grand Cache almost. We're not taking the Grand Cache way because I guess there's some limits on the bridges or something. I don't know. He's having trouble getting permits going Highway 40, which I don't want to go on Highway 40 anyways. I hate it. And with a coil, even though you got all those added brakes, it's probably better than going with a fully loaded tri. But I struggle every time because I'm like, this engine brake is just not built for those long, gradual hills that you're just always, you're on the brakes, you're on the brakes, you're on the brakes. So not that coming from Grand Cache is all that much better. I don't know if we're going past, I think they call it Musro Campground. Are you gonna pop out in front of me there? Yeah, that's super awesome. I don't know why these guys don't go a different way. Why don't you turn right? They insist on going left and sitting there for 10 minutes trying to get out of traffic. But yeah, so we gotta go up through Grand Prairie. Hammerhead's like an hour and 17 minutes from Grand Prairie. On a good day, probably in a pickup or a car or on a bicycle. Will be a little bit longer than that, obviously. Supposed to be on location for 1 to 2 a.m. It's 12 hours away. Should give us more than enough time to get up there, and hopefully I get an answer if we got a Jeep off or not on the turnoff. I don't think I've ever been on the Hammerhead Road. I don't recall. I'm skeptical of my choices I'm gonna have to make on my own if I don't get any feedback from Trican. There is a guy going to visit, check out lease. Supposedly Halliburton's on location right now, and it's a pad well, so it's huge, but it's not strange to have more than one frac company on location. So, like last time, we had Calfrac and Trican. So we'll go nab this coil and get started on our journey. Looks like it's gonna stop raining, maybe? I doubt it. Probably gonna rain the whole way. But it looks like it's trying to ease up a little bit, so that's nice. No torque tag so far, so that's nice. Everything is flashing. Not great. Oh, fuck. It's always some bullshit. Hopefully a spread of the screwdriver fixes that. Oh, this yard could use some. That is not great. Put some air in that, I guess. Fuck. We definitely got some shorting somewhere. Well, we'll start at the front. The Jeep is good, so that means we're probably in here. Getting low on WD-40. Yeah, everything on the Jeep works good. Oh, everything is happy now. We'll still fucking double this up because, you know, as soon as we get going, it's gonna happen again. Just a little bit. I don't really like grease, like it does work good, but I'm more of a firm believer of something light. That is loose. Very loose. Gonna have to have a little chat with my buddy Daniel. He works as a mechanic for Trican. He was out here pounding on some stuff. One of the keeper pins that holds the rail last time I was here was like 25 below. He's like, God damn. I didn't recognize him because he had the big handlebar mustache on. I'm like, wait a minute. He's like, yeah, you know me. Alright, let's hope that's the fucking answer. Seems to be something leaking back there. Yes, it is filthy too. It's not very often to get behind the trim panels and clean. Looks like I should though. I'm gonna go back to the shop and get that looked at. I dug it out, and it's the supply line from the valve for the trailer. It kind of comes out, insert picture here, and it's like, whoop. So I'm pretty sure that's why it's leaking. They were trying to fix a different issue before, and I guess he didn't try the trailer brake because he was working on the tractor brake. And I had to get a flat tire fixed. And 3 of the brakes were stuck on. And I'm like, let's put some air in this before maybe it was just luck that maybe it's the valve stem, but they ended up peeling it off so they could see what was up anyways. I'll go find out what it was, and we'll get on our way here back to the shop to get that fixed. And then after that's fixed, well, then we got to go to Grand Prairie, and we'll switch 420-104, which is what I got for 420-103, which is in Claremont. And then we'll go out to site. I'm like, I was right at 50. It's got to be under 50, which we're about 46.5 there, so that's golden. We were over on the truck by 960 kgs, and then we're over on the Jeep 2060. So tons of room on the ass end. We're only at 30, we're allowed 38, and the booster's allowed 15. We were only at 13, but it all lies in the booster anyways, or else you can slide the wheel on the Jeep to make the Jeep take more weight, and that would take weight off the truck, but then you're still, they could have worked that way. It's just a lot more work, and these wheels, they ain't been slid in a long time. So I was like, well, we'll just dump a bunch of the booster and the hydraulics, and it worked out there. Nobody was coming, so I just parked on the scale and kind of did this, did that, backed up, readjusted, went over the scale again, and we're pretty much golden now. So just in case white course open, which probably isn't, so you just wasted half an hour, but better to be on the safe side.
Slow down. Company speed limit exceeded.
Sit out at swap. I'd be on time. Ready for a bang? Oh. One of these looks not the same as the others. That is unlocked. Don't let me forget that. Let's hope we're not blessed with the same problems with this one. Right where that red hose is. Got a little button on the bottom. And that's for when you go into dips. That button automatic releases all the pressure in the hydraulic arms, so you don't just fucking imagine carrying the whole coil on the booster. Not good. And the other one was sticking. Oh boy. So if that button is triggered, when you shut the door and push on that valve, you just lost all your pressure. I'll get some spray. We'll check her at the top of the Wapiti anyways. We'll roll out of this mud, make sure all the tires are spinning. Another case of the hurry up and wait. You guys want a peekaboo at what it looks like around here? I'll throw this 360 out there. I'm too lazy to stand out there. Pretty sweet get up here. Half decent rig. We gotta wait. I'm like, oh good, I'm not late. It's almost 5 a.m. I was supposed to be here 1 to 2 a.m. So I'm glad it's working out. One of the wells that they were going on is all of a sudden now it's flowing, I guess. And then the second well they were gonna go is flowing, and then they got some other wells still that are not. So they're just kind of really on standby. And so am I. He's like, we might just get released. They might have to just take it back to Grand Prairie. I'm like, okay, well, I'll hang out just in case that happens, I guess, because there's no point in, well, I was gonna deck it off right here. If they're going in last night, last I heard, they might not get in until tonight. So I was gonna deck this off here, and they're like, well, we'll just pull it in with one of our trucks. No point in you being here all day. I'm like, I do need the paycheck, but this is the less entertaining part of getting the paycheck. Over here by this rig. Lisa's down here somewhere. Follow the water lines. So yeah, that kind of sucking, but good for the paycheck. Got no coffee. Half a sandwich. Jar of oranges.
Hungry, fella? There you go.
I want to say that's like a walking rig or something, just the way I see everything set up here. We do a multi-pad well. I'm pretty sure that's the only way you're gonna do it. Comment below if you know different. I don't know my rigs, but the way I see this set up and the way it's raised up off the ground and the way all the cables are here leads me to believe it's a walking rig of some sorts. It'd be sweet to have a time lapse of that moving. Definitely not in the process of moving though. Can I get low enough? You think bro's hating his job? He looks like he's not enjoying himself too much. I don't really, what do they call him, the lease hand? Rig hand, lease hand. I think I don't know what, worm. Getting lunch, dinner, washing rig, dealing with laundry, probably all sorts of other things, but everybody's got to start at the bottom, work their way up when you got no experience. Hey, it looked way worse at night, but I thought this hill was pretty loose for out. Oh, it's got some water.
Copy security, busy, 143, checking in.
All these. Fuck.
What's got in there?
First and second is less desirable
Oh, wait,
in this
that's 6 on the
transmission.
Copy that.
Not overly impressed with it. Every part you get, you're like, oh yeah, I'm getting a new. Now you're getting someone else's worn out, used, rebuilt piece of shit. Get a couple cool shots on the way home, but thanks for watching. We'll see you guys on the next one. Shout out to Security Shack people. Wife came out last night. Are you the time-lapse trucker? I'm like, yeah. Both ways 3 on the hammer. I was like, wow, my husband watches you all the time. So I'm gonna stop in and say hi to them and
Go on to the hour, 7.2.
get moseying on my way home. Truck was clean.